Hello friends, in this video I am going to discuss some problems related to Fermat's theorem. Let us come to first problem. If 7 does not divide a, prove that either a cube plus 1 or a cube minus 1 is divisible by 7. It is given that 7 does not divide a, then we have to prove either a cube plus 1 or a cube minus 1 is divisible by 7. That we have to prove. Okay. Now it is given that 7 does not divide a. Okay, therefore, by Fermat's theorem, and 7 is a prime and 7 does not divide a. Then using Fermat's theorem is if p is any prime and p does not divide a, then we have a power p minus 1 is congruent to 1 modulo p. Okay, here p is 7. Therefore, we have a power 6, that is 7 minus 1 is congruent to 1 modulo 7. This is by Fermat's theorem. Okay. This will imply by definition of congruences 7 divides a6 minus 1. Now a6 minus 1 can be written as a cube whole square minus 1, or this is 1 square. Now using the formula of a square minus b square, this is a cube plus 1 into a cube minus 1. Okay. Now we are going to use this result. If p divides ab, where p is a prime, then p divides a or p divides b. Clear? We have this result. If p divides a into b, where p is a prime, then either p divides a or p divides b. Clear? Now 7 divides a cube plus 1 into a cube minus 1. Now a is a cube plus 1, b is a cube minus 1. 7 is a prime. That means this implies 7 divides a cube plus 1 or 7 divides a cube minus 1 using this result. Clear? That means either a cube plus 1 or a cube minus 1 is divisible by 7. Is divisible by 7. Clear? Hence proved. Clear? If 7 does not divide a, then either a cube plus 1 or a cube minus 1 is divisible by 7. Clear? Now we come to next problem. For any integer a, verify that a power 5 and a have same unit digit. Okay, we have to prove this. For any integer a, we have a power 5 and a have same unit digit. Okay, that we are going to prove now. Clear? Now, we have to find the unit digit. Unit digit means, and we know the process of finding unit digit is we have to divide the number by 10 and the remainder will be the unit digit. Okay, means if unit digit of a5 will be a5 congruent to a1 modulo 10. Okay, we have to set this congruence. a5 is congruent to a1 modulo 10. If we have this type of congruence, then this a1 will be the remainder or the unit digit. Okay, we know this. For example, if a is 35, okay, now on dividing this number by 10, remainder is on dividing by 10. Remainder is 5, and we know we know this is unit digit, this is tens digit. On dividing by 10, remainder is 5 and remainder is nothing but the unit digit, and this can be written as 35 is congruent to 5 modulo 10. Okay, clear? Same way, if we want to find the last two digits, then we will divide that number by 100. And if we want to find the last three digits, we have to divide the number by 1000 and remainder will be the last three digits. Okay. Now in this particular question, we have to prove that for any integer a power 5 and a have same unit digit. That we have to prove. Same unit digit means same remainder on dividing by 10. We have to prove this. Means we want to prove if a power 5 gives remainder r on dividing by 10, then a should also give remainder r on dividing by 10. Then only this remainder will be the unit digit and same unit digit. That we have to prove. If a5 when on dividing by 10 gives the remainder r, then a should also give remainder r on dividing by 10. Clear? That we have to prove in order to prove that a power 5 and a have same unit digit. Okay. Now we have to prove this. Now using symmetric property of congruences, I can write this second congruence in this form. R is congruent to a modulo 10, and using first and this third congruence and using the transitive property of congruences, I can write a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Right? We can write like this. Means in order to prove that a power 5 and a have same unit digit, I have to prove this congruence a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Then only I can say this a power 5 and a have same unit digit. Okay. This can further be cleared on if we see that if we are able to set this congruence, then by definition this will imply 10 divides a power 5 minus a, or by definition of congruence, if we are able to set this congruence, then by definition this will imply 10 divides a power 5 minus a. Not 10 will divide a power 5 minus a when the last digit is 0. Then only 10 divides a number when the last digit of that number is 0, and last digit of a power 5 minus a will be 0 when they have the same unit digit, last digit. Then only the difference will be 0. Clear? And if difference is 0, then only we can say 10 divides a power 5 minus a. Clear? Means if we are able to set this congruence, this will imply 10 divides a power 5 minus a, and 10 will divide a number only when the last digit of that number is 0. Means last digit of a power 5 minus a is 0, and last digit of difference is 0 only when the last digit of two numbers is same. Then only their difference will be 0, and then only 10 will divide. Clear? If I let a to be 2, okay, if I take a to be 2, then a power 5 will be 2 power 5, that is 32, and it is congruent to last digit is 2, it is congruent to 2 modulo 10. Since 10 divides 30, that is a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Same way, if I take a to be 3, if I take a to be 3, then 3 power 5 is 243, and on dividing by 10 remainder will be 3. Clear? Here also a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Last digit of 3 power 5, that is 243, and 3 is same. Last digit of 2 power 5, that is 32. Unit digit 2 and 2 same. This is we are going to prove. That means now in order to prove that a power 5 and a have same unit digit or last digit, we have to set this congruence relation. A power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Clear? That we are going to prove. Clear? Now let us come to the proof of finding this congruence. A power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Clear? Now 10 can be written as 5 into 2. I can write 10 like this. Now 5 is a prime. Therefore, by corollary to Fermat's theorem, I can write a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 5. Clear? I can write like this. In the corollary to Fermat's theorem, we don't require that 5 doesn't divide a. This type of condition is not required. Okay. If 5 is a prime, then for any integer a, I can write like this congruence. Clear? Also, same way, 2 is a prime. Therefore, I can again write like this. A power 2 is congruent to a modulo 2. I can write like this also. Now, this will imply, taking power 2 both sides, I can write like this. That is, a power 4 is congruent to a square modulo 2. And from here again, using transitive property, I can write a power 4 is congruent to a modulo 2. Using transitive property of congruences. Now again multiplying by a both sides, I can write like this. That is, a power 5 is congruent to a square modulo 2. I can write like this. Okay, now same way again, a square is congruent to a modulo 2. Using transitive property of congruences, I can write like this, a modulo 2. Clear? Means now we will use these two congruences. A power 5 is congruent to a modulo 5 and a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 2. Now using first, we have 5 divides a power 5 minus a, and using 2. 2 divides a power 5 minus a. Okay. Now 5 also divides a power 5 minus a and 2 also divides a power 5 minus a. And since 5 and 2 are relatively prime, their GCD is 1. Since 5 and 2 GCD is 1, therefore I can write 10 divides a power 5 minus a. Okay. And this will give us a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. Okay. This will, by definition of congruences, I can write a power 5 is congruent to a modulo 10. I can write like this. Clear? Okay. That means 10 divides a power 5 minus a. Okay. This implies 10 divides a power 5 minus a. That is, I can write like this. That is 10 divides a power 5 minus a. This implies last digit of a5 minus a is 0. Okay, then only 10 will divide a number, and this will imply last or unit digits of a5 and a are same. Clear? Hence proved. Means for any integer a, last digit of a5 and a are same. Hence proved. Clear? That's it for this video. If you have any queries or any suggestions, please write to me in comment box. In my next video, I'm going to discuss some more problems on Fermat's theorem. Okay? Thank you.